You fucking dick.
And this is what she would want.
Take care of your mom, Rob.
I really used to like The Boys. The world, the violence, the jokes, just the general shock of everything. But underneath all the exploding heads, laser eyes, and absolutely unhinged moments, there was something that made it work. Season 1 wasn't just a superhero parody. It was a story about grief, revenge, power. Ordinary people fighting these monsters in human skin that were just so much bigger than them. And yet somehow, despite all the insanity, it felt grounded. It felt real. The characters, the stakes, the world. The show felt like it was building towards something, that it had a formula that it was going to continue to ride. That worked. It worked. Everything worked. The actors, the tension. But something changed. Season 2 to 5 come out. The satire just kept getting louder. The shock value got bigger. Well, not the value. The shock did, but the value of it went down. It was bearish. The characters stayed the fucking same for the most part, and the plot was just in loop. It was a circle constantly. The show that once mocked corporate entertainment, which was already kind of ironic considering it was, you know, it's on fucking Amazon, slowly started feeling like the exact kind of franchise that it was parodying or making fun of. Don't get me wrong. I don't think The Boys suddenly became terrible. I still enjoyed watching it for the most part. Season 5 really did leave a bad taste in my mouth, though, let me tell you. Because despite the story being kind of derailed, there were still great performances. There were still great moments, although those great moments started to just decline as the series went on. And there were still flashes of the show that made me fall in love with it in the first place. But somehow along the way, The Boys stopped feeling like a story with a destination and started feeling like a machine designed to keep itself running. And that's what makes it so frustrating, because this wasn't some mediocre show that failed. This was one of the best superhero series ever made. Actually, you know, I might need to change that in the script, to be honest, because that's not fucking true. Maybe live action series ever made. Definitely not best series ever made. What am I doing? But that's why watching it made me, like watching it lose made it hurt so much more, because there was potential there. It's not like my opinion with Invincible, where it could be way better than it is, but it's still, in my opinion, at least good. This, The Boys, I'm gonna give the opinion right now. I think it's bad now. I think it ended on such a sour note that it's bad. So today I'm gonna be talking about The Boys. Go figure. And I'm just gonna cover the whole damn thing. I'm gonna yap about season 1 to 5, Gen V a little bit. That shit's a fever dream in my brain. I barely remember it, but I do have some points jotted down about it that I want to cover. And we're gonna talk about the downfall. You know, oh, season 1 fantastic, or for the most part. Season 2, not so much. Season 3, there was great, things. Season 4, season 5, blow my brains out. Talking about different points for each of those arguments. It's one of the smartest shows on TV, and then it's not. It's not at all. It wasn't even fighting to try and avoid becoming the very thing it set out to parody. We now have a fucking prequel series coming out that the whole last finale season spent building up to that instead of actually flushing out the rest of the fucking show. I sound like Busy Pop right now. I'm saying the F word every 2 seconds. But this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is the heartbreaking downfall of The Boys, also known as The Goys. My name is Dakosity Live. I talk about frickin' shows and stuff, mainly adult cartoons, but, you know, whatever I feel like talking about at the time. I like the funny, goofy-ass shows. Anyways, without further ado, please enjoy that. I'm not going to say the video title again. We're going to start shitting on The Boys. But first, we're going to talk about season 1, the good season, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I can't wait.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
So why did people even fall in love with this series in the first place? I'm gonna tell you right now. Because despite what some people may tell you, The Boys didn't just become popular because of the edginess. It wasn't the gore. It wasn't people wanting to see superheroes explode. It wasn't Homelander drinking breast milk, you know? The reason The Boys worked was because underneath all the insanity, it understood something. Something that modern superhero stories have completely forgotten for the most part. There's a piece of hair in my eyeball. The superheroes weren't the main attraction. The characters are. Take Huey, for example. When we first meet him, he's just a guy. He's just a little twink. He's working a dead-end job. He has his girlfriend who loves him, and his life just really isn't that exciting. And then all of a sudden, one of the most shocking openings in live-action television history happened. A-Train, a superhero, literally runs through Robin while she's on the street, just turning her into fucking red mist. And just like that, Huey's entire world collapses. The Boys gives us something we can connect with immediately with the main character. Loss, grief, anger. We've seen superheroes save the day 1,000 times. We have rarely seen what happens to the people standing on the fucking sidewalk. I gotta stop saying the F word. I'm doing what The Boys do with all the cursing. I sound like Kamiko from season 5 right now.
Suck my fat dick.
And that's where The Boys found its identity. The heroes are not heroes. They are celebrity, brands, product, corporate assets. Every member of the Seven is a walking PR campaign. And Vought isn't this organization that helps save humanity. They're a business. Everything is about money, optics, maintaining the illusion. The show isn't asking what would happen if superheroes merely existed. They're asking what would happen if corporations owned these superheroes. You know, like Hollywood. What if they were like Hollywood? You know, like in real life? It's much more interesting, man. Then you have Homelander, the star of the show, the Anthony star of the show. What can I say about him or the show, to be honest? About that hasn't already been said. God, I'm autistic. One of the greatest television villains ever created, at least in season 1. I mean, he's still fantastic, but man, the writing, Anthony Starr's carrying the writing in the later seasons, let me tell you. Unlike most superheroes, or, well, evil superheroes, villains, I guess, he's not trying to conquer the world, at least in season 1. He doesn't want to destroy humanity. He just wants people to love him. And that's what makes him terrifying. He can blow up planes with his eyeball beam, wipe out entire fucking cities on his own. He could kill anyone on Earth. But emotionally, he's still a lonely child that was raised in a lab by a bunch of screwed up scientists who probably do weird shit behind closed doors too, because everyone in this show is a degenerate. Every scene with Homelander is a ticking time bomb. You never know whether he's about to smile or just completely kill someone out of the blue, or both. Do both. He does both sometimes. The guy somehow manages to be charismatic, pathetic, hilarious, and horrifying all at the same time. Every single scene with this man becomes a meme somehow. Half the tension from the show is wondering what the hell Homelander is going to do next. And then there's Butcher, the perfect opposite to Huey. While Huey starts out believing the system, right? He had like merchandise from A-Train and everything. He was a fan, but Butcher already knows everything is rotten. He's angry, reckless, manipulative, British. Which is the worst trait, that he's British. It's the worst one. And the series really tries to get you to ask the question, is Butcher even actually any better than the people he's hunting? Which is incredibly corny, to be honest, because yes, he is. He is better than them, yes. He's an anti-hero. I don't know, man. I feel like he's just doing the right thing most of the time, to be honest. These people need to be killed. Every season likes to pretend that Butcher is being pushed closer and closer to becoming exactly what he hates. I don't really buy that, because it's like I said before, it's just a circle. It's just a big circle. End of each season, oh man, Butcher really did it now. We're never gonna accept him back into the crew. The boys, you know? Season begins, yeah, Butcher's back and is acting exactly the same way. Nothing's changed. But in the earlier seasons, that's what made it compelling. It was the first time we were seeing this shit. We didn't know it was gonna be played 4 more times in our face with even worse writing. Nobody was completely necessarily good or evil. That's what really drove people in. Everyone had motivations, flaws. They all felt human. Even when the show was at its most ridiculous, the characters grounded everything. That's why the first season feels so focused. Every storyline pushes the plot forward. Every character has a purpose. Every episode feels like it's building towards something bigger. The Boys wasn't just shocking, it was smart. The shock value actually served something. Robin's death launches Huey into this new world of, oh, let's kill these bastards, they're evil, we gotta do something about it. Flight 37 permanently reframes Homelander and Maeve. Shoving a bomb up Translucent's ass actually made sense. It was a very vulgar way to deal with the problem, but considering the circumstances, it actually was something that both moved the plot forward, gave people a laugh, and made in-universe sense to do instead of something else. The guy has skin made of diamonds, basically. There was no way to get him to kill him, but he did have orifices. He did have them, so why not just drug him and then shove something up his ass? I'm sure his insides, they probably can't handle it as much. It was his skin. They're geniuses for writing this. Now just do that same level of brain power for every other soup for the rest of the series. Oh wait, they never do this again. I thought this was gonna be the whole show. This is what made it work in season 1. Oh, how are we gonna kill these bastards? We're gonna have to come up with cool and intricate ways to deal with them. And then for the rest of the show, 99% of the time, they're either punching them, choking them out, shooting them. There's nothing really that smart about any of these kills after season 1. I liked when MM choked the dick guy out with his own dick, but then I have to ask, how the hell is MM dealing with the soups? I thought most of them at least had somewhat super strength. What the fuck happened? And this is skinny MM. This is anorexic, no roid MM doing this. Homelander felt invincible. At the very end, we see that Homelander is able to be so fast that he saves Butcher from a fucking bomb. Well, he's standing right next to it, and it blows up the whole house. And Homelander's able to safely get him out of there and fly him to a secret, lair location where they were holding Becca and Homelander's kid. This dude's power scaling is insane. A-Train is able to dodge Starlight's light-based attacks. We see him doing Quicksilver, slow motion abilities with his super speed. Which, okay, yes, A-Train, one of the top dogs, Homelander, one of the top dogs. How are we gonna kill these guys later on in the series? Okay, so apparently the show is such bad writing that they forget that the speedsters can do the speed thing when it's convenient to them. But in season 1, like I said, we didn't know this was gonna happen. But success changes things, right? Season 1 was a surprise hit. Suddenly Amazon had one of the biggest shows on television, or I guess streaming. The audience got bigger, the budget got bigger, and the franchise as a whole got bigger. And that's when the cracks started to appear.
Real eyes, realize, realize.
Seasons 2 and 3 come out, and well, they're not as good as the first. Still pretty decent, but the cracks are definitely starting to show. On the bright side, we get some pretty good fight scenes. Now, the budget, according to Eric Kripke, isn't that big, so they can't have these gigantic, crazy fight scenes. I don't know why you would make a superhero show if you weren't going to be able to do that, but whatever. But the fights we do get are pretty good, both narratively and visually, for the most part. Stormfront chasing Kamiko's brother or whatever, cousin, I think it was their brother. We kind of just forget about this character when he dies. After season 2, this character is just fucking, not a weep, not a mention from Kamiko, nothing. The bro doesn't exist anymore, as far as I'm aware. I know, obviously, he died, so, why would they mention him? But, yeah, that was Kamiko's family, right? Something, anything. He had a pretty crazy power, too. But him being chased by Stormfront up an apartment building while we see Stormfront kill a bunch of minorities, definitely not your typical one-on-one fight scene. It's more of a horror scene, if anything, because the dude really couldn't fight back against her. I mean, she was a V1 subject. She's one of the top dog soups. But we don't have the thing from the season 1 that was so good, and that was the soup of the week. kind of, not even soup of the week, but the boys wasn't about killing the soups anymore. I mean, they want to, they're trying to, right? But it's not like with Translucent, where they actually had to come up with a strategy to take them down. It was more so, Butcher wants to find Becca and then eventually save Becca and Ryan. Stormfront is a fucking Nazi for some reason. This is when the politics really started getting shoved into the show. Yes, the show was always political, right? But it was more so like talking about like celebrities and corporations and dealing with that kind of politics. Now we're getting a hint of like, oh, the cornball Reddit shit. Like this show was written by fucking Redditors. Great, I can't wait to deal with that. Awesome. So you're gonna critique corporations and celebrities being fake as hell, and then in the same breath regurgitate the same Reddit talking points that are being regurgitated from said corporations and celebrities. Thank you, Eric Kripke. I love you so much. Thank you for this. I love the slop. There's also a lot more inconsistencies with like how these soups were. They felt more human, not even as characters. Like they were still human as characters, right? But their way above human status didn't feel as impactful. Like for example, the Deep, he's in the 7. He should be one of the top dogs at the very least in strength wise. The guy can survive in the Mariana Trench allegedly. Bro can swim into deep water, period, which is already fantastic and incredibly durable for a human. But in the same show, this man gets knocked out because he fell off of a whale and hit his head. Like, are we serious? Are we fucking serious right now? The Deep gets knocked out, but the human beings in the boat that went directly into the whale, they're fine. They're just covered in some whale guts, but they're uninjured. They're just maybe a little sore. Really? That doesn't make any fucking sense. A-Train and Homelander have like 100 different chances to kill these people constantly. Now, I guess you can chalk it up to Homelander wanting to play cat and mouse with Butcher, but it just feels like the soups just let them get away constantly. These fuckers have plot armor the size of a really big rock. I really need to start writing actual scripts for these. The girl power shit, I don't know whether to call it corny or just lazy, because obviously they're trying to satirize the kinds of stuff, like, for example, in Avengers Endgame, where they did the big girl power moment when they're like, oh, Spider-Man, don't worry, you got backup or whatever, and then all the different woman superheroes get up to do their pose before actually getting in there and, doing the thing. But at the same time, they were still doing it. They were still doing the girl power shit. So it's like, oh, we're making fun of it, but we're also still doing the thing that we're making fun of. So I don't even know what to say about this. Season 2 is more forgettable though, in my opinion. There were some key moments there, but it's definitely like not a filler season, right? Shit happened, but in the grand scheme of things, season 2 and 4 are like meh, definitely not as good as season 1 or 3 even. But like just mid. Don't really have a whole lot to say about 2. Season 3 though, this is the second best season in the show, right? We get Soldier Boy, the fucking GOAT. He's supposed to be some satire of, I assume Eric Kripke would say, toxic masculinity, but he ends up just being the most likable character in the show, the most sensible character in the show, and just the best overall, which is hilarious because the guy has a vocabulary written by VisiPop.
I'm fucking out. You get the other shit? I know the fucking deal. Here's a fucking shit. The tribute that fucking works. Buddy, you think you look strong? You're wearing a cape. You're just a cheap fucking knockoff. Fucking freak. Slip away. You might want to guard my ballsack. Oh, yeah, really?
Shut the fuck up.
Or whatever the hell her name is. I don't think I've ever said it correctly. Bro's cursing every 2 seconds, and yet somehow I still find him more likable than the rest of the cast, except maybe Butcher and Homelander, kind of. He's just on their level, honestly, in my opinion. But we have Herogasm, which didn't need to be a giant orgy. We've already established that these people are degenerates. I guess at the very least, it's not as bad as the ass sniffing scene in season 5, where it's literally just irrelevant. Like, we didn't need to see this. We didn't need like 2 minutes of these 2 grown adults sniffing each other's assholes. Like, okay, they are degenerates. There's this giant orgy. The twins are gonna be there that Soldier Boy wants to kill, whatever. Could have just been like, oh, they're hiding out in this location, and Homelander figures out that that's where Soldier Boy's going next, so then they can still go there. Didn't need to be this disgusting monstrosity, but whatever. At least it fits narratively somewhat. The actual disgustingness doesn't really push the plot forward like how it would in season 1, where when we saw nasty shit happening, it was like, oh, we're seeing that this priest, this dude, this pastor or whatever, I forget his name, the stretchy guy, you know, he's actually a disgusting piece of shit. And we're using this scene to demonstrate that. And we will see him later doing, you know, baptizing, and it'll be funny. Like, it'll actually pay off. And we have the best fight scene in this season between Butcher with powers. The Temp V was an actual MacGuffin that made this series good. Don't know why Huey couldn't just teleport Homelander to the sun. I guess he didn't want to die himself, or maybe he couldn't. I don't know. Powers aren't very explained good, well. But this season also brings another power scaling issue. Speaking of which, I forgot to mention in season 2 as well, A-Train gets his leg broken by Kamiko, right? I think that was season 2. And it's like, how did he not notice this when we see him literally able to outspeed light? I guess, oh, he's caught off guard, but doesn't he has, it's clear his perception is also sped up, so what, he really didn't notice it until that second? What the fuck is going on? Well, we actually get to see Homelander as an actual threat. Soldier Boy, okay, he's the peak soup before Homelander. He's getting manhandled by Homelander by himself. You know, he's putting up a fight, but he's still clearly losing. He's still clearly just getting out strength, even though Soldier Boy's clearly a better fighter, even though Homelander apparently was trained as a fighter, but we never actually see that demonstrated in the show. But Butcher, who's also a higher level soup with the Temp V, as we've seen by the fact that he's able to just kill a lot of them easily by himself, and Huey all have to hold him down just to get the laser cannon from Soldier Boy inside of Homelander, and it's still not enough. Homelander finally enrages, runs away. He's able to get away from 3 soups, 2 of which are incredibly powerful, and just completely burst away. Meanwhile, in the finale, guess what he can't do? Guess what he can't fucking do versus Butcher? Just Butcher. Literally just Butcher. Nothing. The tentacles are too much that he can just laser away. They're too fast. They're too strong. And don't get me started on the season 3 ending. Holy shit. This was the true downfall of the show, all right? The goofy ass Starlight and MM were terrible the entire season. These people were fucking character assassinated. MM's just like a dipshit screaming racist at Soldier Boy's ear when they're shoving the thing to knock him out in the finale on his face. It's just like pure cornball. What is happening to this character? He used to be the cool-headed dude, and now he's just like insufferable, making incredibly stupid decisions. And it's funny because he's mad at Soldier Boy, which he still should be, right? He still killed his family regardless. But it's like Soldier Boy's like, you know, I used to like black out when dealing with criminals a lot of the time, and like, yeah, I like just kind of missed the thieves that I threw a car at, and it fucking hit a building. So like, most of the people he's killed has been through collateral damage. Still terrible, but there was no malicious intent, especially based on race, for that, as far as I'm aware, at least given the context they've given me, right? MM screaming racist in his ear while he's knocking him out with the gas. It just comes off as fucking just stupid. And Starlight, she gets this big power up. She's floating up in the air, and all she does is just knock Soldier Boy back a little bit. And the whole fight starts for no reason. Why didn't he just let Ryan, like, he already knocked him out. Butcher could have been just like, bro, focus on Homelander, we'll take care of the kid in a minute, and then deal with the fucking, like, dealing with not killing the kid. Like, just, you don't need to kill the kid. The kid's already knocked out. You already knocked him away. Why is Butcher just throwing away the plans and shooting lasers at Soldier Boy when Homelander's right fucking there? Homelander's the one who basically got Becca killed, right? It's still basically his fault that happened. Homelander assaulted your wife and created Ryan to begin with through that assault, and you have the one chance to kill him. As far as you know, this is the only thing on planet Earth that can actually kill this bastard. And instead of taking that chance and then dealing with the kid, bro just throws it all away and completely betrays Soldier Boy because we need 2 more seasons. Gotta milk it a little bit more. Fucking hell. You could have kept the series going too. The comics is already filled with weird, crazy twists, right? With the Black Noir shit. Which, by the way, Black Noir, oh my god, what a completely wasted character twice. You could remove this fucking character from the show and it wouldn't mean anything. Both of them. But you could have been like, okay, so Homelander dies in season 3, right? But we find out, because we know about Soldier Boy and all this, there are other older supes, right? And they come out of the woodwork. We've already done this. Every season, there's new super powerful supes that we've never heard about before, at the very least, never seen before, coming out of the woodwork, and all of a sudden, they're part of the grand new threat. And there's like a crazy MacGuffin that they have to get to kill Homelander with that they end up not doing. So why couldn't there just be like, okay, season 3, they kill Homelander. Now Butcher's the bad guy because, okay, like in the comics, he has nothing else to live for now. There's still Supes, Vaught's still around. He needs to kill the problem at the source. He got his revenge. Now he has to do the thing that he's wanted to do all along, which is eradicate this cancer. So now he's using like different things of V to make himself like a chimera of sorts to take down this empire once and for all or some shit. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a writer, but this shit would have been better than the crap we got.
You want some turkey? Well, first you gotta fuck me.
Because it then moves into season 4, right? My God, my Lord, please help me, Lord. This show is officially just more superhero slop. It's not satirizing it at all. This is just political. It's super political in the weirdest, most laziest way possible. Homelander is just Trump. Fucking the right wing is just the Reddit version of the right wing. It's not even like, oh, they satirize both sides. You know who they're they're making fun of more, okay? This is not a centrist show. The people who wrote this show are just Redditors. It's fucking horrible. The gross outs are just shoved in there. Shit's borderline fetishes all over the place. Huey gets assaulted and they really don't care. Oi, Huey, you gotta go get butt fucked by Batman so we can stop Homelander, Huey. Huey, you gotta get your butthole tickled by Batman, Huey. Oi, Huey. Oh, Butcher, please. They're shoving it up my ass, please. I don't know where I'm going with this. And the writing in general just feels like it's on a fucking treadmill. I can't take it. I can't. It's the same plot. Butcher comes back. They accept him back. They need to find the MacGuffin. The MacGuffin don't work. Homelander he's getting even crazier. He's off the rails this time. He's just about to snap. Oh, he is snapping. Oh, he's just about to snap though. This time it's for real. This is the real time. Every single season for 3 fucking seasons. Pretty much every episode. Firecracker is a useless piece of shit. Why is she in the show at all? Why? What does she do? She's throughout this entire season basically doing nothing. I guess she's spreading propaganda with her show, but they could have did this with literally anything. They were already doing this with the news and networks that they owned. Real fucking great Trump comparison, by the way, Eric Kripke, to make him the owner of both the super powerful corporations and the media, like all media pretty much. Season 4 is just one big eye roll, to be honest. Like I said before, this one and season 2 are more, they really do feel like filler. And they end with, oh, Homelander's taking over the whole government. There's gonna be camps that people are being put in. The Gen V cast, they're here. They're in the show now. They're in the main show. Kate's mind controlling people. Frenchie got mind controlled. Kamiko finally opens her mouth and actually says something. The last couple seconds actually feel like shit's about to actually hit the fan, like it was like they've been ticking up to for the past 4 seasons. They got the chick from the mental facility. Oh yeah, remember Lamplighter? I don't fucking remember him. But remember the chick with the powers? She could just like flatten anything with her mind. Yeah, for some reason she's working with Homelander. You know the guy who owns the companies that like locked her up in the first place. Also somehow they just found her and like could considering they escaped because it was, you know, the facility got ruined. There was a prison break there. I don't know. But before I get to the finale, Gen V, man. Remember when I said that season 4 was like Reddit politics? Gen V, same fucking thing. It's like a bunch of Redditors wrote this season, or I guess this series.
Oh, well, I'm kind of like PewDiePie without the Nazi stuff.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
They removed the most intriguing character in the first episode of the first season, the golden boy or whatever. They killed the guy with the biggest incentive to do what the Gen V crew even does in the first place before he gets a chance to actually do anything. And then in season 2, we find out that Marie is like this super powerful soup, right? She's like Victoria Newman or whatever. She can control blood. She can bring people back to life and heal them. She's a Jesus figure. And then what? Season 5, we get a quote from her when she finally shows up. The reports of my powers were greatly exaggerated or some shit. Really? That's how you write her off? You couldn't at least bring her into the final fight, right? Like some of the strong Gen V people. Also, I think they're gay too. I think, which is whatever, but like just a whole lot going on, but we never actually get anywhere with this. Gen V could be removed from this franchise and fucking nothing would change. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Sister Sage. Remember her? Remember the fat lady who would just eat and gorge herself and talk about the whites and shit and complain about fucking stupid people while being stupid and being like, oh, I thought of this all along. This was all a part of my plan every single time. Do not write super smart genius characters if you yourself are retarded, because all you did was make this super high IQ person allegedly act like a fucking retard. Maybe there's some satire in there, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Nothing ever fucking happens. Every scene we see of Sister Sage, she's eating something. And then when Firecracker's getting her shit pushed in by Starlight on live TV, she's just like, how's that for uppity cracker? Like, what the fuck is this? What is this show, dude? What has this become? Season 1 is completely different from this shit, dude. I swear. The show was flanderized, not even the characters, the entire thing. And then, you know, let's just get into it. Let's just get it. Season 5. Season fucking 5, dude. Nothing happens. Remember season 4? Oh, everything was going crazy, right? Homelander's now like basically the president. There's gonna be camps of people. First episode, fantastic. First episode was wonderful, right? Kind of. We actually get a prison break of the camp because Frenchie, Huey, and MM were in the prison. I don't know why they didn't just kill them. I don't know why. They were luring out the others, but like, why? Why? You can already find these people anyway, basically. You have a soup who can just fucking crush shit with her mind if she's able to see it in front of her. And Homelander can catch up to A-Train. So why not just, like, why? I don't understand. Homelander's in a room with all of these people. He's like, wow, Butcher, you have a rat's nest in your butt, you know, because of Butcher's, you know, tentacle powers. And for some reason, he doesn't have the laser powers from the temp V. I kind of wish he got both at the end, but whatever. You know, season 4, oh, Butcher, man, he's gone off the deep end. He has the virus. The cancer's he let the cancer take over now. You know, he's evil. He's back to his wicked ways. He's going full-blown crazy evil person. You know, he killed Victoria Newman like it was nothing. You know what? Actually, we need Butcher. You know, he's an all right dude. He killed a mother in front of her daughter when she was gonna help us and everything. You know, it's fine though. And listen, water under the bridge, dirt under the rug. Time to give Butcher a hug. Here we see Kimiko getting fucking lasered in half in an instant. Don't know why he didn't just do that to Huey, Frenchie, and MM, and then eventually Starlight. Also, apparently Homelander can be blinded and knocked out. If he's this vulnerable to different kinds of stunting and stunning and like disorientation, why don't we use this more? I know the boys don't see some of it, right? But we found out in season 2 that they could use the sound to at least make him kind of like go crazy a little bit. Not even crazy, but just annoy him, you know, distract him. Maeve was able to shove a metal pipe in his fucking ear and make him bleed. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that Maeve scene. why is Maeve still alive? When Soldier Boy and her went outside and nuclear explosioned her, if she was human when she gets hit by the explosion, right? The laser, there was still a pretty big fall to the ground. How the fuck is she still alive? Oh, you know, she needs a happy ending. She needs a happy lesbian ending, okay? Listen, can't kill her off. Can't do that. Can't have any main characters die yet, even though we never see her again. That would have been a perfect thing for her to go out like a hero. But anyway, back to back to this finale, I guess. My God, I'm autistic. 90% of this season is just filler. We get a decent beginning where we see A-Train do his Quicksilver scene again, and then somehow Homelander is able to not, like, he's able to catch up with him and laser him almost, despite earlier A-Train being able to Quicksilver moment around the lasers to the point where they were basically not moving. Like, they were moving very slowly. But then now when he's trying to run away and Homelander's chasing him, okay, now the lasers catch up with him and Homelander can keep up with him speed-wise. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We knew Homelander was faster than him flying, apparently, allegedly. But the laser thing and this like the power scaling, I know people don't care about power scaling, right? But to a certain degree, this is just good or bad writing. I know, like, getting into the thick of it with, like, oh, SpongeBob can destroy a universe because he literally did by pulling a fucking string of fabric of the reality or whatever and was able to unwind it in like 10 seconds. That kind of corny shit, let's leave that to, you know, the funny YouTubers that I watch. And Death Battle, even though they're terrible at it. I just like the fights. Death Battle is not very good at power scaling. They made, they said Bardock loses to Omni-Man, even though in their own calculations, Bardock would be like thousands of times faster than him in just base, I'm pretty sure. They said Viltrumites were more durable, despite Viltrumites getting torn to shreds by each other, despite having less combat power. It made no sense. Made no fucking sense. But we spend most of this season, oh, the new MacGuffin isn't the virus, although we're still gonna try and use it. Now the MacGuffin is the V1. We can't let Homelander get it. It is a power boost, and it will make him immune to the virus, even though the virus still incapacitated Soldier Boy, and also now they know about uranium, which also can incapacitate them. So maybe try using both, and then just fucking, if he's able to bleed, just shove a bomb up his ass. Just shove a bomb up his ass like Translucent. Why haven't we tried this strategy again? We have the thing where they go into the, you know, the abandoned lab or whatever to try to find the V1. They don't find it. They're all pissed at each other. Soldier Boy locks Homelander away. Oh man, but it's what Clara would have wanted. I'm gonna like, you know, I'm not gonna kill him. I'm not gonna blast him with my laser in there. No. Why would I deal with this guy? No. He's my son, you know? This guy who hates the country. He doesn't even like the fucking country. He's my son, you know? Yeah, even though he tried to kill me, he knocked me out, he did some weird shit, he put me in a tube. He's fine, though. Until he's not. Until he knocks me out and puts me in the tube again. We spend this whole season looking for the V1. Soldier Boy just hands Homelander the V1. Sister Sage is like, how could I ever calculate this? Even though Ashley, using her tumor mind brain powers, literally told her that, yes, Soldier Boy doesn't like Homelander, but he does love, like, it's still his son. Like, she didn't say that, like, she said that he still would, like, was the son. They still love him. How the fuck are you this retarded, Sister Sage? And she's so depressed from this, by the way, about love. She starts watching Love Island and gorging herself, and it refuses to help because, oh man, the miscalculations. So we end that episode with, oh, Homelander has the V1. He's shooting lasers into the sky because he's just like being, you know, he's having a full Dragon Ball moment. And Butcher's like, run. And this is Butcher with the tentacles, right? This is badass Butcher, you know, apparently. Well, we're supposed to think so anyway, because of, you know, remember season 4? He's off the rails now. He's really gonna get down and dirty now. He's gonna take every chance to kill these bastards. Don't worry. Even though he didn't really do much when you know, Homelander was stuck in a cage. He just laughed at him and left. But we get to what really pissed me off, the finale. That's why I'm making this video. Probably like 40-something minutes into this video, and I haven't even talked about it yet. They wanted to be like the comics now. So we're ending the show, the series, in the Oval Office. Homelander thinks he's God all of a fucking sudden now. He thinks he's literally God. I guess the Stormfront supremacist thing got to his head, and now, okay, I'm the second coming. Actually, no, I am just flat out God. That's what Homelander thinks. And he's pissed off that no one really believes that at all. And it's just all through fear, but he doesn't care anyway. He's just gonna start rounding people up, you know? We get these posters. He's up there in the sky. There's nukes going off everywhere. The Homelander's people, they're locked and loaded and ready to round up all the Starlighters and everything, right? Shit's about to hit the fan. He just needs to do this TV broadcast. God forbid he starts doing it right now. All hell's gonna break loose, right? Scorched Earth is about to happen. The thing Sister Sage set up, apparently, is gonna happen. And even though she's about to go to Disney World because she lost her powers to Kamiko. Oh yeah, remember that episode before? Kamiko gets the nuclear powers from the Soldier Boy experiment that they did using Sister Sage because Frenchie started talking about Love Island and convinced Sage to fucking do the Kamiko thing. Oh, but Frenchie gets killed by Homelander because he shows up using his super speed. He hears fucking Frenchie tap on a wall, even though he couldn't hear Huey run around an event. Couldn't hear Kamiko and Sister Sage heart beating inside a vent because it's zinc. He can't see through it. Therefore, also his hearing doesn't work. I can't hear through zinc. I hate this show. I fucking hate this show. Ashley helps them get into the Oval Office because, I mean, that's believable. She already helped Maeve escape. She, cut the stuff already. So she understands that Homelander needs to be stopped more than fucking Butcher did in season 3, apparently. But we get there, we're in the Oval Office. The big fight's gonna happen. We got Soldier Boy powered Kamiko, who's also a bit enraged by the fact that, he killed Frenchie. The most unsatisfying death in the whole series. Literally just nothing. I felt fucking nothing when this guy died. What did Frenchie do outside of season 1? I want to know. Help with the virus, I guess, that didn't end up doing anything? Oh, that's right. He got his back blown out in season 4. I remember that part. Oi, monsieur, I crave the penis. I feel so bad for myself. I just crave the penis of the man whose family I killed, monsieur. Oh yeah, Ryan's here for the fight. Butcher and Homelander are going toe-to-toe somehow, despite Homelander having the V1, which apparently is a 10 times multiplier. And, Butcher's like a strong suit, but how the fuck? He's keeping him at bay. He's punching him. He's landing blows on Homelander and keeping him away with, keeping him from flying away with his tentacles. How is he doing this? We couldn't get a decent fight scene where Butcher brings out all of his tentacles, right? You know how he killed Newman? He had fucking 8 of these things coming out of him. He's only using them like Spider-Man slings coming out of him. It's just bad. It's so unexciting. The tension's not there. Ryan shows up. Oh yeah, remember him? Remember Ryan? The first natural born soup. This kid who has been played up like he's gonna be the key to stopping Homelander over the course of the entire fucking series. And he does help stop him, right? He helps hold him down at the end. But that's it. He gets the shit kicked out of him by Homelander in one scene because he was an idiot and went to confront him alone for some fucking reason. I keep saying the F word. I'm no better than Eric. And then, he really doesn't do anything this whole series. He has this thing with Zoe, but that doesn't go anywhere. And then eventually Kamiko has this moment, the incredibly cornball moment, right? With Frenchie in her brain. She's like, oh, I can't do it. And Frenchie's like, oh, man, monsieur, anger wasn't your thing or whatever. You just need to smile or some shit and use your beam now. Now you figured it out. Yes, I'm French. Baguette. Kamiko shoots him with the laser, and there it is. That's it. It just took Butcher and Ryan to hold him down this time instead of, fucking Soldier Boy, Butcher, and Huey. And Homelander couldn't get away when he had the V1 in his system. He couldn't just rage out and fucking burst through the ceiling. He was trying to go through the window. Mind you, in this same episode, we see him go into space and back in 2 seconds. Also, Allfather, or whatever the hell his name is, remember that guy? Yeah, he dies to MM. I don't know how the fuck MM's arms weren't blown off. He didn't even lock the ball gag on his mouth, by the way. He just held it in front of his mouth, and that's what blew it up. It doesn't blow his arms off, though, his twink, non-roided up arms. Is MM a soup now? Did we miss the scene where he took Temp V? Like, how the fuck did he do that? Doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. It's not consistent. Nothing. I mean, he did kill the penis guy with his penis, remember that? So maybe he is secretly pumping V in the background. Like, what the hell's going on? It's just for something with 5 seasons of buildup, the finale was just so boring. Yeah, I understand you don't have the budget for gigantic Marvel-like fight scenes, but man, you proved to us that you could make a good fight, a good narrative, ending climatic battle in season 3. I'm not talking about the finale for season 3, because that was kind of cornball shit too. I'm talking about the confrontation between Butcher, Soldier Boy, and Homelander in that one, room and Huey was there too. Like, the pacing was good, the dialogue was great, the fighting was great, the cuts and everything felt actually good, man. And like, the tension was there. The little hairs on my arm were sticking up. Season 5, it just came and went and just was so anticlimactic, and there was like no build up to it. There was build up, I guess, but it didn't feel like it, right? It felt like they were, we're getting ready, we gotta learn all about the Soldier Boy shit and early Vought, because there's gonna be a spin-off coming. There's the Vought of Rising or whatever. We gotta learn about that, right? You gotta go watch that. You gotta go watch Vought Rising, guys. Soldier Boy's gonna be there, right? Yeah, it's the boys without Butcher and Homelander, but dude, it's gonna be great, I'm sure. Look at what we're giving you right now. It's gonna be even better than this, I promise you. Please buy Amazon Prime and watch this, I'm begging you. And it doesn't even end there with the at least Butcher kills Homelander. It was kind of unsatisfying, to be honest. Homelander becoming a very pathetic individual was fine. That made sense, and his acting was as good as ever. Anthony Starr, like I said, just kills every single scene despite it being a bad scene in general. But man, oh man, Ryan just fucks off. He gets adopted by MM's family. He's depowered. He's the first natural born soup, but he still gets depowered by the Ray, I guess. I mean, it makes sense, but like, man, you're the one writing this shit. You could have at least made him like, okay, he's gonna be the good Homelander. He's gonna be the Homelander who actually saves people. No, he's just gonna get adopted. Not by Butcher, no. Butcher's actually gonna die too. We have to follow the comics now. Remember when we baited you with these scenes of calamity happening all around the scorched earth? Remember that with the posters? Yeah, Butcher's just gonna go to Vought, say he put the virus in the sprinklers, not activate it, even though the virus could spread across the whole planet and it doesn't even need to activate it there. He could just put it anywhere, and apparently it's supposed to spread like wildfire, and Huey stops him and shoots him because Butcher was thinking about Lenny. In the comics, it actually made sense for this to happen because Butcher, like, they were falling out of a fucking window. So, like, the tensions were a lot higher. Here, Huey's just got a gun drawn on him. Why didn't Butcher just take some V after the fact? It doesn't make any sense, man. Butcher going off the wall now, too. Yes, he did it in season 4, but then all throughout season 5, he's like the same character he was in the first 2 seasons. They took him back. He had nothing. He still had stuff left to lose. Huey and MM, like, he still had friends, right? Granted, he was correct. Vought did need to be brought down, right? Soups still exist. The problem never actually went away. They'll just make another Homelander. But Huey's got to stop him, man. He's got a baby on the way. He's got to run his stupid fucking electronics shop while Starlight goes around punking low-tier criminals while pregnant. Really saved the planet there, dude. Just tells the government, no, I'm not gonna help you keep the soups at bay, dude. Fucking terrible. Butcher goes off the deep end because his dog died, which is understandable, but at the same time, really, it just feels so padded on there. They could have written this to have actual build-up to it. In the comics, he goes crazy because Homelander, the one he wanted to kill, he realizes that person wasn't actually the person who did all the horrible things to his wife and everything that he was hunting. So then he realizes, wow, they could just keep making these things. They could keep making these clones of Homelander or whatever, and the evil will never stop, so I need to take it upon myself to do the right thing and just completely wipe them out to begin with. Here it's just, he's just fucking pissed off his dog died. He's no one else, like Ryan doesn't want to live with them and the dog's dead, so now he just wants to kill everyone. The series is just, it's just one big blue ball, man. The show was at its best when it had this formula where they were taking out a soup, 1 to 2 episodes at a time in creative ways. They were fighting against like they were the underdogs, where the shock value actually mattered and wasn't just there to create more memes or something. And it became the very thing it was trying to parody. Oh, corporations using these superheroes to create spin-offs and just completely milk them to no end while they do nefarious things. Oh, looks like we're doing a bunch of spin-offs and merchandise and shit. Look at the memes, guys, the memes. Commercial success will sometimes stagnate just creativeness in general. The show died because it stopped sharpening its own blade. What makes The Boys heartbreaking isn't the fact that it became too political edgy or messy, although those definitely help. They're definitely symptoms, if anything, because it was always those things. What makes it heartbreaking is that it used to know how to turn that ugliness into an actual story, and by the end, all it really knew how to turn it into is more content, soulless, meaningless, fucking content, like what I'm doing right now. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is my rant about The Boys. I'm not sure if I'll ever make another video about them again. This kind of just turned into me ranting about it. Obviously, the series ended like almost 2 weeks ago. I'm a little late on criticizing it, but I've been very lazy, kind of like Eric Kripke's writing. But if you enjoyed, go check out my channel. There's a lot more positive stuff than negative. I don't like, I'm usually pretty positive for the most part. I make negative videos every now and then, but it's like a 70-30%. I try to shit on a show every now and then just to, I don't want to be too bubbly, right? But if you check out my channel, a lot of my content's way more less mean-spirited. I suggest the Robot Chicken, Xavier Renegade Angel, Wonder Shojin, Aqua Teen Hunger Force drawn together. Just look at the channel. Just scroll down and look at it. Just do it right now. And if you're watching on mobile, please, I'm begging you, press the hype button. It helps out small channels like me a lot. Like and subscribe, all that nonsense that the YouTube algorithm loves so much. I love you. Have a great day. God bless.